Today, we're going to cover accessories for the Sony ZV-1 line. But the accessories that I'm going to mention are definitely applicable for the Mark II, as all those changes and releases aren't something very different apart from the Mark I. The accessories that I'm going to mention are going to cover 3 key areas: audio, charging, and extra functions. At the end of the video, I'll also be sharing you guys why do I think it's not necessary to upgrade from the version 1 to the version 2. So if you're interested to find out and considering both at this very moment, you want to stick to the end. Let's talk about the first area, charging. Now, we all know that the battery life of the Sony ZV-1 sucks. Sorry, but I don't have a better word for it. It is really weak compared with other cameras. It can probably only last about 45 minutes of usage before the battery is flat. And if you want to charge it through its port, it almost takes a million years. So how do I solve this issue? I actually got this charger, which is from NiteCore. This is the NiteCore USN2. Now, this charger from Nikon is really unique as it has 2 ports, one at the front and one at the back. Now, I absolutely love this thing, and you might be wondering, where the heck is the charging cable? It's actually built in at the side over here. Okay, why is the screen dark? Obviously, it isn't charged. So here I have is my regular power bank, and all I have to do is to take this USB and just put it over here. And here you got a charging screen. As you can see, it shows you the charging voltage and how much battery there is left on the first slot and the second slot. I really like this charger as it has a unison design, meaning once I plug, look how stiff the wire is. Once I put it in, it is all in one single package. No hassle at all. At its current price, it only costs about 50 USD or lesser. This is definitely a must-have in my books. Next is the department of audio. Now, the microphone on the Sony ZV-1 is really good compared with other inbuilt microphones for different camera brands out there. I mean, it does isolate your audio a little bit better, but I still hear a lot of background noises and unusual fluctuation in its audio levels. While the Sony ZV-1, you'll definitely be able to hear a lot of background noises. There's some internal software with the Sony ZV-1 that is able to so-called isolate my vocals. Now, this is where I think my favorite microphone kicks in. This is the Rode Wireless Go 2. Now, how much difference is there with and without these microphones? It's quite a stark difference. Hi guys, so let's do a test with the Sony ZV-1's internal microphone and this Rode Wireless Go 2. So let's do a side-by-side comparison. But as you can see, it also comes with this magnetic piece, which I'm going to put inside here. Okay, and let's take a walk. Okay, so now we are somewhere along the roadside. The audio that's coming out from my Rode Wireless Go 2, I'm sure you can hear all of my vocals very clearly. While the Sony ZV-1, you'll definitely be able to hear a lot of background noises, and I'm sure some form of fluctuations. There's some internal software with the Sony ZV-1 that is able to so-called isolate my vocals, but I don't think it's doing the best job. What's also unique about this microphone compared with other clip-on microphones out there is these 2 unique features. One, it has this safety channel, and 2, it has this onboard recording, meaning as long as this blue light is on, it's always recording audio. So I'm really very safe in terms of audio backup all the time. As for the safety channel that I'm mentioning, basically it records audio in 2 channels, the left and the right. Now, the right will be recorded in an audio level that is negative 20 decibels, which is significantly lower. Sometimes when I'm talking too loud, it might have clipping sound. Now, what is clipping, you ask? Okay, so if I'm talking very loud, usually it will hit all the way up and the audio will be distorted, just like this. But if I'm using the second track, you can hear, the clipping is gone. So this feature is actually useful if you're on places such as roads, where suddenly there can be a spike in noise levels. There are also other accessories which you can get to enhance this microphone, which is this magnetic clip, which you can put over here and over my shirt over here. Of course, I do find that it does look a bit chunky if I'm not wearing black. That's why I'm actually wearing black today. Yeah, if I'm wearing other colors, this will be a bit more contrasting. So in terms of its battery life, how long can this last? Well, this can last up to 7 hours, which is probably more than you ever need. It does come in pricey, about 149 or 199 USD. If you guys are enjoying this video, do remember give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Now, the next accessory is talking about functionality. You guys are going to like this one. Now, this is the UURig L plate. Now, what is this UURig L plate? Basically, there are features on this Sony ZV-1 which I feel can be definitely enhanced. One issue which I have is that the hand grip is a little bit too small. It doesn't feel very right holding it. And secondly, the battery door is a little bit close to the screw over here. So if I'm actually mounting a tripod, the battery door might be stuck. So let's mount this thing up. Here's my small rig tool. Okay, basically this is a 7-in-1 toolkit. Ta-da! So this is the base portion. As you can see, once I added the base portions, there's actually a few screws which you can add in over here to relocate your tripod base. The battery dowels is also deeper, so it prevents it from blockage. There's also additional little cold shoe mount adapter over here, which you can put other devices such as the microphone, like I mentioned just now. You can just clip it at the side over here. Neat, huh? So now we're gonna add in the side, which is this little grip over here. So once the hand grip is mounted, it's significantly nicer to hold. You can see it now. My hand can just go around it nicely. Above the grip, there's also two other extra holes over here, which is ideally for additional grip. But I do like using it to be able to mount sideways for vertical content. It overall does make it a little bit chunkier, but I feel it's definitely more balanced once you have the screen out, instead of being very light without this whole L plate by itself. As for the price, it costs only about 40 USD. Now, let's talk about why I'm not upgrading from the Sony ZV-1 Mark 1 to the Sony ZV-1 Mark 2. I'm going to categorize my reasons to two key categories: no improvement and slight improvements. Now, no improvement. The sensor on the Sony ZV-1 and the Sony ZV Mark 2 is literally the same. The Sony manufacturers mentioned that it's actually using the same camera sensor. So in terms of image quality, you're not getting any different from either of these models. The next area is battery life. There's literally no upgrade in terms of the batteries that is used. Though other reviewers say out there they could probably get 10 more minutes than the Sony ZV-1 Mark 1, but I feel it's not a significant upgrade at all. Slight improvements. The Sony ZV-1 Mark 1 has a focal range about 24 to 70 mm. The new Sony ZV-1 Mark 2 has about 18 to 50 mm. But if you include all the stabilization and other stuff, it actually goes down all the way up to 22 mm at its maximum widest length, which you're only looking at a 2 mm improvement, and there are alternatives to be able to make this Sony ZV-1 a little wider. Now, the next area which I think is a little bit more significant improvement is the menu itself. The Sony ZV-1 Mark 2 does have a touchscreen menu, which you're able to navigate all the different functions. And if you want to change settings, it's rather quick to just be able to press on the screen to change it. If there's any reason for me to upgrade, I think that the menu would be the biggest reason. But for me, the price between these two models is about 300 bucks. Can you justify 300 bucks for these few slight improvements? If you like this video, do check out my playlist over here for more photography tips or gear reviews. If not, I'll see you guys in the next video.